What is going on, guys? Danny here, bringing you episode 8 of the Road to Inform Robben. And as you can see in the top corner, I've got just over 300k for this episode to go and spend. And that's what I've done with these trades, as you can see here. And again, you might notice that I'm on the web app because same reason as last time, parents was in bed. But anyway, starting off with this Falco, I paid 70k for him and then I listed him for 84k. I'm also listing all these trades for 12 hours because this was late at night. Moving on to Higuain, I paid 35k for him and I listed him for 47k because, I mean, he had one of them all attribute cards on him and also he was in a 4-1-2-1-2, so I thought I could get that for him. Moving on to an 85 informed Downing, left mid, 4-4-2. I paid 61k for him and I put him up for 77k. Moving on to this Garcia, CDM, pretty shocking formation, but nevertheless, I thought I could make profit on him, so I paid 15,500 and listed him for 21. Moving on to this Ben Arthur in right wing, decent formation because it's a 4 at the back, but I paid 73,500 for him and I listed him for 84. Moving on to the first of two Seedorfs, this time this one is centre mid, so I picked him up for 22,250 and then listed him for 29. And then moving on to this Seedorf who was in cam, so probably won't get as much for this one, but I picked this one up for cheaper. But nevertheless, I put him up for 26k. So the screen's just going to change now, guys, and you'll notice that all of these trades have sold, and I went off and bought some more, and now we're back onto the console version. And as you can see, I made some decent profit on these trades. So this Garcia sold for 19,250. The Falco actually sold for 79k. The first informed Seedorf sold for 24,500. I had to put him down a tiny bit. Downing sold for 71. Higuain sold for 40k. So again, a nice profit on him. Ben Arthur sold for 84k. Decent profit on him also. And finally, the second Seedorf. This one is centre mid. So he actually sold for 28k. So as you can see, I'm moving on to these trades now. And I'm starting off with a Muller, who I paid 26 for him, and I listed him for 34k. Pretty confident I could get that for him because he was in a 4-4-1-1 formation. Moving on to this Rami. I think this is actually the first of two. But anyway, this one in a 4-1-2-1-2. So I paid 15 for him, I listed him for 18. Not the best profit compared to the others, but again, decent profit. And look at this one, I paid 11 for this one, and I listed him for 18 as well. Moving on to this Nani left wing, 4-3-3, and again got an all attribute cards on him. So I paid 54,500 for him, and I was pretty certain I could get 70k for him, and that would actually be like a brilliant profit on him. Moving on to this Sienna, I think that says centre mid, pretty bad formation, but nevertheless paid, I think that was 11. I listed him for 14. And then moving on to another Ben Arthur. I really like trading with Ben Arthur, to be honest, guys. He seems really easy to trade with because, as you can see, 68 I paid for him and listed him for 80k. So if he goes for that, I'd be absolutely chuffed. Javi Martinez, 85 centre back. Pretty good stats on his card. I didn't actually see how much I bought him for, but I know I listed him for 25. But I'm pretty certain that would be a decent profit if he goes. 63,500 for this Valencia. Decent formation. I listed him for 85. This Volvnik, I think that says, you have to forgive me on the pronunciation, but 14,500 I paid for him, and I listed him for 24k. This time, guys, I'm listing these for an hour because this was actually like in the daytime. Second from last is this Mulgrew, 4-3-3, paid like 12k for him, listed him for 15, and then finally we're finishing off with a Vela, 4 at the back formation. I paid 29,250 for him, and I listed him for 40k. So the screens are just going to change now, guys, as you'll be able to see, and you'll be able to notice that I actually made a really good profit on today's episode. I started with 300k and actually got 375k, so that is just absolutely brilliant. I was chuffed for that. So the first Rami sold for 17,750. This Muller sold for 33k, he's been sold on for 30, so a bit of a loss by the guy who bought him. This one actually sold for 13k, so that might have been a bit of a loss because that was the 11k one. The Nani I sold for 70k. This Sienna sold for 13k. The Ben Arthur sold for 77k. This Martinez sold for 25. The Valencia went for 70k, he's not been resold. Vorvanik sold for 24k, again not been resold. Morgrew 15k, and finally Carlos Vela sold for 35k. So we're just going to move on to this screen now, guys. And total amount of trades was 18. 300k I started with, and I finished with 375k. So that's a 800 coin profit in today's episode. And bear in mind, guys, that's only 18 trades, so I was really chuffed with that. Coming up to the end of the video now, guys, so please leave a like and a comment. Also subscribe, as we're really close to 500 now, and that would just be a massive achievement for me and Ash. So again, I'd just like to thank all the subscribers and everyone who's been liking and commenting on the videos. And I'll see you next time then, guys.